The polar vortex sounds dramatic, but it's a real and vital part of our weather. Picture a massive spinning pool of icy air high above the North Pole in the stratosphere. It's not a storm you see, but a powerful circulation of wind, always present, especially strong in winter. The vortex acts like an invisible fence, trapping the coldest Arctic air at the top of the world. When it's strong and stable, it keeps the worst of the chill locked away. Think of it as a spinning bowl. As long as it spins fast, the cold stays put. The winds, called the polar night jet, can reach over 100 miles per hour, forming a tough barrier. So, the polar vortex isn't a storm that visits us. It's the gatekeeper of the cold. Its strength is crucial for our winter weather. When the vortex is healthy, we get the milder winters we're used to. But if it weakens or wobbles, that's when the Arctic air can escape and head south. Understanding the polar vortex is key to predicting what kind of winter we'll have. It's a fascinating, powerful force that decides whether you'll need your thickest coat. So next time you hear polar vortex on the forecast, you'll know it's not just hype. It's the hidden engine behind our winter weather. So, how does this spinning Arctic air affect us in the UK? It's all about the jet stream. When the polar vortex is strong, it keeps the jet stream flowing straight and fast from west to east. This jet stream brings milder, wetter air from the Atlantic right to our doorstep. That's why we get classic British winters. Cloudy, rainy, and windy, but not freezing. The strong vortex acts as a shield, blocking Arctic air from reaching us. Instead of Siberian blasts, we get Atlantic breezes. It's a tug-of-war mild, moist Atlantic air versus cold, dry Arctic air. With a strong vortex, the UK stays on the milder side. We get wind and rain, but avoid deep freezes and heavy snow. The polar vortex's grip keeps our winter predictable and damp. So, if you're wondering why it's wet instead of icy, thank the vortex. It's the main reason our winters are more grey than white. The polar vortex has two moods, strong or weak. A strong vortex spins fast, keeps cold air locked in the Arctic, and gives us mild, wet winters. But when it weakens, things change. A weak vortex becomes wobbly, even splitting apart, letting Arctic air escape south. This is when the jet stream meanders, dipping south and pulling frigid air into Europe and the UK. That's when we get our coldest, snowiest spells. The infamous Beast from the East in 2018, classic weak vortex. So, a strong vortex means mild, Atlantic-driven weather. A weak vortex opens the gates to freezing air and snow. Meteorologists watch the vortex closely. It's the best clue to what kind of winter we'll get. It's a true tale of two winters, mild and wet, or cold and snowy. The state of the vortex is the master switch. When it's strong, we're safe from the worst cold. When it's weak, winter gets wild. Recent winters show the power of the polar vortex in action. In 2019 to 20, the vortex was exceptionally strong and stable. The result? Relentless storms, wind and rain, but mild temperatures. It was one of the mildest UK winters on record, with little frost or snow. The Atlantic air kept freezing conditions at bay. The trade-off, less snow, more rain and wind, but fewer disruptions. The winter of 2021 to 22 was similar. Another strong vortex, another mild, wet season. These patterns show a clear link: strong vortex equals mild, Atlantic-driven winters. When the vortex holds firm, the UK avoids severe cold snaps. Our weather becomes predictable, wet, windy and mild. The polar vortex isn't just a scientific term, it shapes our daily lives. When it's strong, we get a gentler winter. It's the key to understanding our recent mild seasons. So, what can disrupt the polar vortex? The main culprit is sudden stratospheric warming, or SSW. Powerful weather systems below send energy upward, heating the stratosphere and shaking up the vortex. During an SSW, temperatures over the Arctic can soar by 50 degrees Celsius in days, slowing or even reversing the vortex winds. The once strong barrier weakens, letting cold air spill south. The effects take about 2 weeks to reach the surface, but when they do, the impact can be dramatic. High pressure can block Atlantic air, opening the door for Siberian cold. SSW events are rare, but drive our harshest winters, like the beast from the east in 2018. The vortex is usually strong, but SSW is its Achilles heel. It can flip our weather from mild to freezing in weeks. Forecasters watch for SSW every winter. It's the wild card. When it happens, winter can turn wild fast. As winter 2025-26 begins, forecasters are watching the polar vortex closely. Early signs point to a strong, stable vortex through December and into January. No major SSW events are expected soon. This means a powerful jet stream bringing wind and rain from the Atlantic. Temperatures should be around or above average, with little risk of severe cold or heavy snow for now. But winter is long, and the vortex is most vulnerable later in the season. Forecasters will keep an eye out for any signs of disruption. For now, expect a mild, wet start, waterproofs over snow shovels. But the atmosphere can always surprise us. The second half of winter remains an open question. Is a strong polar vortex the secret to a mild UK winter? Absolutely. When it spins fast and tight, it locks away the cold and powers the Atlantic jet stream. Decades of data show strong vortex, mild winters, weak vortex, cold and snowy ones. The vortex is the master switch for our winter weather. It tips the balance in the tug-of-war between Atlantic and Arctic air. With a strong vortex, the UK stays mild and wet. If you hear the vortex is strong, expect more rain than snow. Other factors matter, but none as much as this. The polar vortex is our best defense against harsh winter cold. It's the key to a gentler season. The polar vortex leads, but other factors play supporting roles. El Niño and La Niña in the Pacific can tweak our winter, sometimes favouring cold spells. The quasi-biennial oscillation, or QBO, changes wind patterns high above the tropics, influencing the vortex's strength. A westerly QBO supports a strong vortex. An easterly one can weaken it. North Atlantic sea temperatures also matter. Warmer waters fuel storms, adding rain and wind. Even with a strong vortex, short cold snaps can happen if the jet stream wobbles. Local high pressure can bring brief frost or snow. The atmosphere and oceans are always interacting, adding complexity. So, while the vortex sets the theme, these other players add surprises. A full forecast looks at all the pieces together. Bringing it all together, this winter's main story is the polar vortex. Forecasts show it staying strong and stable, at least through early 2026. That means the UK can expect a classic, mild, wet winter. More rain and wind, less frost and snow. Temperatures should hover around or above average, reducing the risk of major cold snaps. Flooding and storm damage are bigger concerns than ice or snow. There will still be brief colder spells, but the dominant theme is mildness. Severe cold events, like the beast from the east, are unlikely this year. So, keep your waterproofs handy. This winter looks to be damp, not dangerous. The polar vortex, high above, is quietly shaping our season.